I don't really know any Ojibwe. I know some words, but not much.
I don't know my native language.
I do not know my native language all that well. I just know a few words.
I know a little bit, mostly Dakota.
Uju nindinwe maganidok nundenensi kwa indigenous cause ima Ojibwe moen igaye ima jaganashi moen Hope indigenous cause Hope Flanagan Mikanak nin indu dame Tawana ishkunagining nin dunjiba. A lot of people don't realize that this is fairly recent history. It was really, most people, if you look at the history, it was a very intentional effort to have, I don't know if you ever heard the term, take the Indian out of the Indian. Have you ever heard of that? Yeah. And you could go from reservation to reservation and see how that was implemented. For example, in my family, a typical family, my grandma was sent to the boarding schools. She didn't speak any English when she went. Now this is an odd part, as she was sent to a French Catholic boarding school, came back speaking only French and losing her language. Most often you hear stories about people being sent to different boarding schools where they come back and they're ashamed because they were punished for speaking their language, and then they've forgotten a lot of it, and actually parents at that time wanted to protect their children, so they'd say, no, don't learn Ojibwe or don't learn your native language because you're going to get punished for it. For a while I was working at Anishinaabe Academy as a storyteller, and I loved that job, but I always saw that the thing that was missing there was the children weren't able to speak the language, and so many of the stories are in the language, so many of the ideas are in the language. And if you don't know the language, you miss it. There's a big piece that you miss. And now there's this sense of, well, I'm not totally native because I don't know my language. So there's shame on both ends. It's a really difficult place to be. There's more efforts. There's not a whole lot more money, though. That's the problem. There's efforts, but there's not more money. This agency that you're talking to right now, that group of people, those women sitting at a table, they went to the legislature, like I said, and they put together the Dakota Ojibwe Language Revitalization Alliance. So they went to each one of the tribes, and they said, we need to sit together to go to the state and say, we need to get language programs funded.
Uju and Dinoe Magnadok, Kagegabo indigenous cause, Mikanak and Dudame, Mikanak Wachuing and Dunjaba. My name is Kagegabo, James Guflich. I'm Turtle Clan, and I'm from the Turtle Mountain Reservation. I use the language to teach our values. Manaji Idiwin, respect, Devasain Dizawin, humility, Zungade Ewin, bravery, Saki Idiwin, love, Nabwakawin, wisdom, Dewewin, truth, Guayakadisuin, honesty. Those are the foundation for our culture with our language.
Bernadette Imakyapi. They call me Bernadette. I speak Lakota Sioux. I was born into the language, so I'm a first language speaker. We are losing our language. There's very few people that can speak the language. Also, there's very few kids that were even introduced into the language. In most cases, it's not spoken in home. I think with this new generation, it's almost extinct. We teach 4 to 5 year olds, and it's really important that the parents get involved, so they know what progress their child is making. Like I said, the kids, they learn really fast, they catch on, and we just need more parent involvement so they can come and learn the language themselves, or possibly take language tables so they can support their kids in the language. Well, how we started with the beginning of the year, we show them a lot of material that we have. I should have brought some to present it. Like we ask them, are you hungry? We teach them mostly the basics, like the commands, and we do a lot of motion, like we tell them, let's go, we're gonna eat. So we do a lot of motion commands. We also do a lot of pictures, and they catch on really quick. That way, usually we start at the beginning of the year. We start with calendars, introduction, names, but again, we do a lot of pictures, and so they know what we're talking about. We do cultural teaching as well. We do stuff like what we show them, like the native animals. Mathogi, daku wadaka hai. Zitgara shah wabadake. Zitgara shah, daku wadaka hai. Magakshi chazi wabadake. So it just kind of goes on, and it's in the English version as well. And then it keeps going and going, but it's all in Dakota.
What I think we really need is we need a school pre-K through all the way up. That's what we really need, is a school that's an immersion school. I'd love to see an immersion school that's in Ojibwe and Dakota, and that people can start at an early age and then keep going all the way up through the ranks. That's what I'd like to see. And that it's different situations or formats where people can go and just practice staying in language, talking to each other. That's what I'd like to see.
Because that is who we are as a people. That is our original voice. That was the first words that were spoken on this continent. So it is important for us to retain that. It's our identity.
I think it's important for people to know their native language, because I think they should keep the native heritage alive, language and all that comes with it.
I think it's important for people to know their native language, because it's to show who they really are. Also, you can probably teach it to other people across the globe and all.
It's our first language, and it shouldn't be lost. It should be kept. It's our first language. English is our second language. So I think we should preserve our language.
To me, it's the light in the eyes of people that know who they are, and they're learning their language, and they're able to know, now I can understand if I have that dream, what's coming to me. Or now when I listen to them praying at a powwow, I know what they're saying. That's what's more important to me. But seeing kids survive, seeing young people know who they are and how precious that is, that's the biggest gift.